Oh my gosh, my head, my head. What is those words? My head won't stop thinking. That constant chatter that's in my head every day, all day long. Can't sleep, can't do this, can't do that. You know what? Do you have those?
Sometimes 100%. We all do.
Yeah, we all do. Welcome back to Teen Talks. We are in part 3 of our series on It All Starts With You. So, how many of you have that chatter that goes on in your head constantly? Yeah, we all have it. We all have it. It just keeps going. Did you know that I looked up this statistic? We have 12,000 to 60,000 thoughts per day going on in our head. In fact, I was just listening to something and I heard that they said 60 to 80,000. Was like, oh, okay. So I'm not sure which statistic is correct, but that is a lot of thoughts per day. How do we even do it? I don't know. I mean, that we rarely turn it off. And the 80% of those thoughts are negative. And 95% of those thoughts are the same repetitive ones over and over and over again each day. How many
Wow.
of you feel that? I do.
That's crazy.
In It's crazy. I know. It's crazy. And in the English dictionary, there are 3,000 words that describe emotions. 1,051 of those words are positive emotions. 2,286 of those words are negative emotions. That's
Oh,
2 times more negative. Well, it's in our language, the
yeah,
negativity.
that's crazy. So it's pretty much like negativity is surrounding us,
Mhm.
and it would almost like it would make sense that our thoughts are the same way because even in our language, just like the English language, it's the case. There's more negativity than positivity. That's crazy.
Yeah. So I mean, think about what words, because we know the ones that are repetitive. We know the
Mm-hmm.
ones we hear all the time. So what are the
Mm-hmm.
words that you hear every day that chatter on in your head? And think about those. How many of them would you say are positive? This would be a good time to like really, we talked about journaling yesterday, or not yesterday, last week. And why this would be a good time to write those down in your journal, maybe.
Yeah.
What are those thoughts that you have that are positive? And what thoughts do you have that are negative? And analyze to see, oh, how many are positive and how many are negative? How many more are negative than positive? And are those true?
Yeah.
So,
I was just gonna say one test that I used to do in front of the mirror actually
hmm,
was I would have to make a very conscious effort to remember what is the first thought that I have as soon as I see myself in the mirror. Right? Because I feel
wow,
like, your appearance and everything, that's one of the things that we're always thinking about. We're always thinking about, oh,
that's
how do we
true.
look and all that stuff. And I just remember like there was a while where I just look at myself and I'd be like, who's this freak in front of me? Um,
Oh,
but
I've got
then
that zit.
yeah, or we're all like we're always looking at like the imperfections. We're always trying to figure out like, oh, okay, this thing is here. Oh, this thing we have to cover it up. We have to do this. And I think that I started doing this thing where I'd look into the mirror, but then immediately like I'd just say something like, "Oh, look at you. Look at you, handsome guy. Look at you, good looking," or just something fun like that, just to catch myself because I had to do it consciously because I knew that I was constantly putting myself down. But yeah, something that I think many of the people listening or watching, something that they can do is like, yeah, just quickly, like a simple thing is like go in front of the mirror and just see what is that first thought that you have, Do you even want to look yourself in the mirror? And if not, why? Right? Because it's probably like these negative thoughts and these negative beliefs that you might have. But anyways,
Yeah, so Mel Robbins, just to bring that up, Mel Robbins, she's written books and she's a podcaster, and she wrote a book called High Five Habit,
Mm-hmm.
and it is about getting up in the morning or anytime during the day and looking in the mirror and high fiving yourself because it does
Mm-hmm.
something to you, to like look at
Yeah.
yourself and high five yourself, and it produces positivity about yourself to yourself.
Very
A
cool.
high five can do that, right? It happen when you get high five by somebody, it changes it's like a dopamine hit, and so if you do that to yourself. Anyway, the words that we use, which we talked about when we talked about state in series number 1,
Mm-hmm.
the words that we use form our beliefs. So when we have this chatter going on, the negative chatter is forming our beliefs. So your beliefs then become your story,
Mm-hmm.
the story you tell yourself. And the story you tell yourself becomes your life,
Mm-hmm.
right? I had to learn this. It's like, wow, what story am I telling myself? Is it a positive story or a negative story? Is it true?
Mm-hmm.
So think about, what's the story you're constantly telling yourself? Who are
Yeah.
you? What do you believe about yourself?
Mm-hmm.
What do you believe others think of you?
Yeah.
That's what you're telling yourself.
Mm-hmm.
That's your story. But is it true?
Yeah. Yeah, that's something that I feel so many people battle with, but they don't know it, you
Mm-hmm.
know? Because it's just that inner dialogue. It's just that the constant thoughts. And we don't necessarily think about taking the time to just think about what we're thinking about, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
Right? We just let the thoughts run.
right.
And yeah, it's we have to be really careful with
Things like,
what that
I'm not good
conversation
enough.
is. Mm-hmm.
I'm not. I can't.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have what they have.
Yeah.
I'm too whatever. All of those things we call them, what do we call them, Rayhan?
Limiting beliefs.
Yes. Limiting beliefs are the stories that we tell ourselves about who we are that hold us back
Mm-hmm.
from becoming who we're meant to be, who we want to be.
Yeah.
These beliefs limit us, and they're powerful, but we can turn them, we can change it,
Yeah.
because those beliefs aren't true.
Mm-hmm.
They're not true. How many times have you pushed yourself and proved things aren't true? Right?
Yeah.
I'm not. And then you go change that. And all of a
Mm-hmm.
sudden, no, that's not true.
Yeah.
I can't. And then you push yourself and you do it. That's
Yeah.
not true. So we change these beliefs to empowering beliefs, and we can turn that. And that's what we start to stay in our head
Mm-hmm.
over and over again. As we're conscious about it, it's going
Yeah.
to change your story.
Yeah. Yeah, on a very high level too, like, the whole idea of like no one believes it's possible until it's done, right? I remember when I was younger, I used to watch these motivational videos before like my games and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And one of them talked about Roger Bannister's story, right? So Roger Bannister is the first person to ever run the 4-minute mile. And the 4-minute mile is a milestone that no one thought was possible. Okay, no one thought it was going to be done. No one thought that anyone would ever do it. And then this guy named Roger Bannister, he comes along and he breaks the 4-minute mile. So he runs a mile in less than 4 minutes. And since then, like hundreds of thousands of people have run a mile in less than 4 minutes, including
What?
like high school students and everything. The only thing that changed was their belief, right? The only thing that changed was the fact that it had been done, so now it was possible. And
Mm.
the same thing, that's like on a high level, the same thing happens inside, right? You don't know what is possible. You'll make assumptions, you'll think about it, you'll have these thoughts, you'll most likely have these limiting beliefs as well. But unless you actually do something and try, you'll never know. you know?
Mhm.
And the thing about limiting beliefs as well is it'll stop you from ever even taking that first step because you're just going to be in your head the whole time.
Mhm.
And that's why it's something that we need to transform. We need to be able to transform these limiting beliefs. You have to break through them sometimes, right? So I think we want to talk about that as well. Like what are some of the ways that, people can start breaking through or transforming their limiting beliefs?
Yeah, you can actually take those things when you say, "I can't," that thing that comes, "I can't do this, I can't do this, I can't do this," and turn
Yeah.
around and go, "I can if I try hard enough.
Yeah.
I can do this. There's nothing stopping me. I can do this."
Yeah.
Or, I'm not smart. I'm not smart. I'm not smart enough. No, I can't do that. I'm not smart enough. Don't even put it in front of me. I can't. No." Then change and go, I I'm smart enough to figure it out. I'm smart enough to learn. I'm smart enough to go find somebody to help me. I'm smart enough to do this.
Yeah.
You know, changing the way we just try. I can think about my life. I've always been really shy,
Hmm.
and I have missed out on so much in my life because I was so shy. Because I tell myself, "You're shy, you're shy, you're shy. You can't go into that room and talk to those people. You're too shy." And it has held me back from so many things. I wish I knew this stuff when I was young. I just learned all of the stuff that we're teaching you now about 4 years ago,
Yeah.
and it has changed my life. I am still shy, but I don't tell myself that. When I see a
Mhm.
room, I change and go, I'm going in that room and I'm going to do something great, or I'm going to learn something, or I'm going to meet somebody wonderful. I can do this.
Yeah.
You know, just a simple change of mind,
Hmm.
change of choice in what we're saying to ourselves
Yeah.
changes your life and makes you unstoppable.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
100%. It is crazy. It is crazy. And I think then, like, so you have the mindset part of it, right? Once you change the mindset, then you've unlocked it. You've
Hmm.
unlocked the more empowering beliefs. And then to accompany that, it's that little bit of action, right? The
Hmm.
the doing something, going just a little step further, you know?
Yeah.
So to give an example, let's say like with Susan, right? With the example that you just gave, if you are a shy person, right? You can just tell yourself, like shift it and say, you know what? No, I am confident and I'm gonna go into this room and I'm gonna meet someone new today. And then you go into that room and you meet someone new. You've done something that you would have never done before.
Yep.
You've gotten one step closer to breaking that limiting belief because you've proved it to yourself,
Yeah.
right? There's a
Uh,
whole thing about self-doubt, right? How you eliminate self-doubt is a mix of two things. Sure, you can have the mindset and the affirmations, but you have to accompany it with action because it's almost like you have to prove yourself wrong,
mm-hmm.
right? It's like this battle against yourself.
Yep.
So when you mix that mindset and the action, right? Taking action, that one little thing, it's what I actually call in like the coaching sessions that I run with the soccer players who I work with. I call it the cycle of progress because
Hmm.
you have that mindset, you have that bit of a belief, right, that you can do it. Then you take action. When you take action, you've proved it to yourself that you can do it. So you have more belief. And then because you have more belief, you'll take more action. And then you'll believe in yourself even more. And then you'll take more action and belief and action and it just keeps on going. And you'll just keep progressing that way. And
Hmm.
I just
Love
love
that.
that. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's such a powerful thing. And it doesn't have to be something big. You don't have to transform the way you think in a
Mm-mm.
second.
No,
No, you just take it step by step, one small thing at a time, you know?
I think
And
sometimes we tend to do that where we go,
mm,
"Oh gosh, it's momentous.
yeah,
I can't even." No. But
yeah,
if we break it down and we do one little win,
mm-hmm,
one little action that's a win, and
yeah,
it builds on itself.
yeah,
And then you begin to build an empowered life,
mm-hmm,
right? The life you want.
yeah. Which is why patience is also such an important thing too, right?
Yep.
To not beat yourself up because you aren't the ideal version of yourself today. If you're working on it, you'll get there,
Hmm.
right? Just have to take it step by step.
Yeah. Yeah. And so, and don't put yourself down if you take that little step and it doesn't quite work out the way you thought it was going to be. Appreciate that you did do it, that you
Mm-hmm.
took the step.
Yeah.
That in itself is a win,
Mm-hmm.
that you took the step.
Yeah.
So, all those things. I want to leave you guys with a quote from Henry Ford. You may have heard it before, but this quote is so powerful and it is so true. Whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. So,
Damn. Mic drop.
yeah. Yep. Mic drop.
Yeah,
Henry
it's
Ford
so
said
true.
that way long time ago.
Yeah. And now everyone
How
drives
come
his
I'm just
cars.
hearing it now? But it's so true.
Yeah.
It's like that. It kind of it makes me think of the book that I used to read the kids when they were little. The little engine that could, and he'd
Mm,
try to get up that hill. I think I can. I think I can. I think I can. I think I can. Instead
yeah.
of I think I can, I say I can.
Mm,
I can.
yeah.
I know I can. I know I can. Yeah.
Yeah. That's so powerful.
Mhm. So
Well, thank you guys so much for tuning in. This was part three, right?
part
Part
three.
three?
So, yep, part
Part three.
three.
Yeah.
Limiting beliefs and creating chatter to move it to powerful beliefs, empowering
Mm.
beliefs. And next week we're going to talk about relationships and how being connected and who we're connected with and how that impacts our life.
Are you gonna find me a girlfriend, Susan? Is that what we're doing next week?
Hey, Susan here. If you're finding value in the content we are sharing in this It Starts With You series, we are very excited. It was only a few years ago that my life transformed because of these personal development concepts. Absolutely life-changing. I'm more aware of how to stop those limiting beliefs that hold me back, to not allow the world to dictate how I feel, and to take action and believe in my own power to create the life I want. Our hope is that through this series, you begin to feel your shift in power. Rayhan is the lucky one, though. He learned this at the age of 15. He has his whole life ahead of him. Can you imagine what life would be like when you develop this mindset and these skills at such a young age? I have no doubt it would have changed the trajectory of my life. These concepts are the cornerstone of what we teach teenagers through our Teen Talks specials on YouTube and the programs at fireflyquest.com. It has become our mission to transform young lives into confident and empowering forces for good. Because belief in themselves has to come from the inside to be able to navigate the curveballs and challenges that will come at them from the outside. Start your teen on the journey to becoming unstoppable with our introductory training, Thrive 101 Blueprint. In just 10 short guided video trainings, your teen will learn that they have the power to become the CEO of their life and thrive. And because we appreciate you, the Teen Talks listener, we want to give you $10 off Thrive 101 Blueprint. Just use the code TeenTalks10. Give your teen the skills to unleash their power. Click the link in the show notes below to learn more. Our mission is to take all the things that we've learned. He learned at a young age. I learned at an old age. It's changed our lives, and to share it with the world. So share it with those that you love.
Yeah.
And we'll see you next time on Teen Talks. That's weird. Okay, whatever you're doing.
Bye.
Bye.
Take care, everyone.